Montreal Now with Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall. CJAD 800.
All right, welcome back. Taking your calls, taking your texts on this decision by some Concordia University students to boycott, to have the university, demand the university get rid of a font. Again, for those of you unfamiliar with the word font, it is a typeface. So like Helvetica, you know, when you're in Microsoft or you're sending an email, you have a choice of like 500 different kinds of fonts. Yeah. This is one of them. It's called Gill Sans, or Sans, S-A-N-S, developed roughly 100 years ago by, it turns out, a man who was a very bad person.
Total jerk, awful, rotten,
awful guy, but came up with this typeface, which the university very innocently decided, because it's a fairly well-known and used widely font. And the students found out, and they're like, oh, no, this has to go. And the question is, as one texter said, since when did the students start running the university? But look, you know what? I salute the fact, to a point, that they felt the need for some reason to go ahead. Maybe they read something about this somewhere, about this person somewhere, and then decided, hey, based on what we now found out, let's take a stand. That's something we should be... I do, in a sense.
I'm surprised.
Because they spent the time to do the homework. What I don't salute is the fact that they then took that information and decided to go ahead and tell us that this is what they think, and therefore we should all think the same thing and be as outraged as they are. No, I don't salute that.
I find it to be a little complicated. I do. And I know you can look at it from a simple, straightforward point of view. It's stupid. It's just a font. Who cares? Move on. But when you hear how truly horrible the guy is, I do feel like, okay, if you're a survivor, if you've lived anything like that, then, but I guess then, you, like you said, take your own personal stance and don't use that font yourself.
Yeah, and if we kept doing this with everybody, I don't want to go back to John.
Where do you end?
Where do you end? Exactly. Where does it stop?
Times New Roman.
That's right. We'll find out that was bad.
The Romans were terrible. Romans did some terrible things back in the day.
That guy, I don't know. Maybe Harold Helvetica was a bad guy. I don't know. I'm asking you what you think. This whole idea of cancel culture and the fact that, you know, unless you think the way I think, there's a problem you have to change. 790-0800. James is on the line. James, what do you think? James, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, good afternoon, folks. I disagree with the protest. We're basically a predatory species, and
did we lose you?
Denying that in our history and not uncovering it is a great disservice to future generations.
I don't understand. You lost me. A predatory species?
Humans.
Yes, but what...
In general, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we war on each other and everything and all sorts of horrible things. And to not face that, I think, is a disservice to future generations. Acknowledge it, but, you know, protesting over minute details, please.
Okay. James, I thank you for the call. Let's go to Mario. Mario, what do you think?
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everybody. I was just getting tired of all this boycotting for people what they believe in, everybody should believe in. What would happen if we find out that Benjamin Franklin was a horrible person? Were we all supposed to stop using electricity, or Edison? Should we stop using light bulbs, or Carl Benz stop using cars altogether? It just doesn't make sense. People have to draw a line. I understand that we have to learn from our history, but I don't think we should impose everything on everybody. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, yeah. Mario, I thank you. And that's what this is, right? It's them imposing their information, their decision, based on what they found out to let us know, no, this is not acceptable. I get it. If it's not acceptable to you, don't do it. Don't use it. You've made your statement. Why do you feel the need to tell everybody else that they should be as outraged as you are?
I mean, I'm coming back to that clip that we played earlier, which is that a university is a place to learn how to think, not tell people what to think. And so I guess I would say if it bothers them and they find it offensive enough, then don't use it themselves.
Okay, I think we're kind of both agreeing on that.
I say it, and yet
I think you've come around to my side.
I haven't. Well, but I feel when I think about how horrible and awful this guy was, I'm like, but then let's change the name. His name should not be on it.
Fine. I'm perhaps willing to go along with that because I couldn't care about the name one way or the other. Dave, what about you? What do you think?
Yes, it's despicable acts, these people, these child molesters, the worst of the worst. Change the font. And change his DNA, change him to a normal person.
Well, he's dead. He's long dead and gone.
Not going to work, yeah. Okay.
All the other ones that are out there. Start making history, change history, yeah.
Okay. Not sure what that means. Debbie, what about you? What do you think?
Okay. We've heard that this person is a terrible, terrible person, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going to stop using that font if I wanted to. It's great that they did all this research. If the person was still alive and was maybe profiting from this font, then I would definitely not want to have anything to do with it. But it's kind of like the previous caller. Are we going to stop using electricity if we find,
Excellent
history
point.
is there to be studied, to be learned from, but not to pick and choose what you want to have in your life and what you want to impose on other people. Like, that's the part that is kind of upsetting to me. Like,
I love the point that you made. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. It's just, people are, what do you want to do? Just dig a hole, pull a rock over your head, and because that's what they should do. If all of these things offend them, I'm sorry, go off in the woods somewhere and just, live your life and let me live mine.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be really hard. It would be really hard for anybody to find something offensive going back in history about hundreds, maybe thousands of people, right? Pick your poison in a case like this. So why this? Why is this the hill you want to die on?
But I love the point that you made about that he's long dead and gone. He's not profiting from this. If it were something where it was currently, he was still making money off this, or, whatever, his name was being brought into fame and fortune again, that's a kind of different situation.
Would you feel the same way if his family or his estate was making money off this?
Well, you know what? Given the fact that this was a situation where he abused his own children and there was incest with his sister, I hope they're profiting. If it's the one good thing that can come of it, that they make a few bucks off of his rotten old dead soul, then good.
Fair enough. His what soul?
Rotten old.
Okay.
Was that a bit extreme?
No, that's
rotten old dead soul.
All right. 790-0800, seeing some interesting texts here as well.
Did you see this one? Vim from Montreal.
Yeah.
I teach at a CJAD. I've noticed many students are disillusioned and frustrated in general. Between inflation, COVID, the war, and an uncertain economic future, they're not optimistic. The protests could be related to how they feel about our world in general. So they're kind of looking
mental
for...
health overview
Yeah,
here,
but it's interesting when you think about it. They're looking for something to attach themselves to.
But again, to what I said, you can remember, too, being back in school when we were in university, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the hotbed for where you first get wrapped up in stuff like this. I remember working at the McGill Daily for a while way back. There were militants and radicals in there, whatever the position was at the time. It might have been the war. It might have been what was going on in Quebec with the people. That's always been there. They seem like more serious issues, though, than something like this,
font.
Which is what I'm saying.
This texter says, how do these students have enough time to protest a font? When I was a student in engineering, there was hardly enough time to get all your homework done.
Well, there is that.